Do you currently feel stuck in your recovery? Maybe that right now you're lacking commitment, and that's what's preventing you from actually quitting for good this porn addiction. But you're lucky. Today in this video, I'll talk exactly about that topic. But before talking about all of that, who am I? My name is Wesley, and my mission is to help prevent 1,000 men from killing themselves because of porn addiction. They are getting to suicidal thoughts because of that addiction. So I want you free from that. These are my type of videos, and if that interests you, make sure you subscribe. Right now, we are in a war against the big porn companies, and I'm trying to prevent the most people possible getting finally free from this porn addiction so that they finally stop making these porn. And if you're interested by that, you might want to stick around. Also, I'm much tired of not having any focus on class or on work. You are given this task you have to accomplish. You're in class right now. Visualize this. You have your paper. You have to write on it, right? You have this exam that you have to do. But while you're writing things on it, you can't focus on it because you keep on getting distracted. Your mind keeps on getting distracted and can't focus on doing things. So it goes and wander around. And this can waste your time and makes you finish your exam late, and at the end of the 1 hour period that you had to accomplish that exam, you didn't finish it because you kept on getting distracted by other things. And you know what? This is coming from your porn addiction. Porn addiction plays with your mind and prevents you from actually focusing on one single task. Imagine yourself right now being these people free from porn addiction. You get up in the morning and you can directly focus on one single task. You want to create this business that you have to create. And being free from porn addiction makes you able to actually focus 100% on that business. You have all the concentration that you need and you accomplish work in the fastest time possible. You put yourself 2 hours at work, full on, no distraction, and you accomplish so much more than if you had this porn addiction. If you're interested into getting to that, click the first link down in the description. And that, let's continue directly with the video about the power of commitment. You know that drill now. I start every video with understanding what it is. So what is on commitment? Commitment is you actually sticking to what you said. And this can be applied everywhere, but especially to porn. When you say to yourself, oh, I'm quitting this porn addiction, commitment is you staying on your goals, staying on this path to recovery and not relapsing out of nowhere and continue to relapse after that, right? You want to stay committed to this recovery. Without a strong dedication to your goals, to this recovery and the of porn addiction that you're doing right now, each setbacks, each relapse, and each urge feel like a discouragement, right? You're not feeling happy having these, and because your commitment is so low in your porn recovery, each setback is actually discouraging you. You feel like you lose motivation because of them. Every time you relapse, you feel like you have to start all over again and that everything that you have done yet is lost. And that's not true, right? You've made efforts, you've made progress, you're just not yet there. And you missed this little something to actually get you there. And this might be commitment. That's why I'm actually making the video, right? Now that you know what is commitment, what can help you get better commitment, right? First of all, setting clear goals is really going to help you. And by a clear goal, that's something nobody does, right? When I get clients and actually talk with them, I, most of the time, if it's not all of the time, ask them, what is your goal with your recovery? Because first of all, not everyone has the same goal. Some people want to be free for a lifetime, but just their lifetime, what does it mean for you? How do you know that you now free for a lifetime? Is it because you didn't fast for a whole year? Is it because when you think throughout the day, you don't have urges to watch porn? Is it because you got free for 3 months? What is your time duration that tells you, hey, I'm free for a lifetime now? And You need a way to be able to measure it so that it's achievable, right? Being free for a lifetime is too big of a range. You won't wait until it's been like 15 years and you didn't fap to tell yourself, okay, now I'm free. So set yourself a clear goal of what you're trying to achieve, because without a destination, you can't be on the trajectory towards that destination, right? You need an end goal to actually plan the steps and achieve them to achieve the goal. If you don't have the end goal, you don't know where to go, so you will get lost, because he who doesn't have a destination cannot be found, right? I think I invented something, but anyway, you can you can understand what I just said, right? You need a destination to actually go on the path towards that destination. If you don't know where to go, you will lose yourself. And that's the same thing as if you're in the woods, right? You're in the woods and you have your friends to go and meet. If you don't know where your friend is in the forest, you will lose yourself in the forest. And maybe that at a point you will meet him, but it's only because he was tired of waiting for you and actually went towards you, right? Because he knew where you were. But if he's staying at the middle of the forest, but you don't know that he's in the middle of the forest, you might just check all around the forest and never go to the middle. So you will never find him. Or it will take you like 3 years, let's say. Whereas if you knew that he was in the middle of the forest, what you had to do is just go straight to the middle, and within like 10 minutes you're there. So you can see like the big difference by just having a goal, and it's a clear goal, right? Being in the middle of this forest is a clear goal. Just saying, oh, I'm in the forest, okay, where? Like, I need some more explanation, right? That's the same thing with porn addiction. You can just say, hey, I want to be free. Okay, free, how, where, from what's the duration? I need way more specific things. The more specific it is, the easier it is to actually accomplish, and the better progress you make toward that goal. So make it as clear as possible. Also, something that goes really well with this clear goal thing that I just talked about is actually tracking the progress you have towards that goal. So let's say, for example, you want to quit for a full month. You put yourself at the top, my big goal is to quit for a full month. Then you put yourself little steps, like 5 to 6 little steps in order to achieve this big goal of quitting for the full month. So maybe, I don't know, not fap for a whole day, or not fap for a whole week, not fap for 3 weeks, things like that, and things to do every day. So let's say, for example, do meditation, do exercises, and you put yourself steps that you can check, like a checkbox, right? And every day when you accomplish this step, checkbox, 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 and at the end, this show you a way that you track your progress. You can see, oh, Monday I did all of that, Tuesday I did all of that, Wednesday I missed that, but Thursday I did it. So I kind of continue on that path. And tracking your progress is good, because when you're 2 weeks in your no fap thing, that's great, right? 2 weeks is kind of good. Yes, you're not free for good. Yes, you're not free for a lifetime, but it's still progress. Imagine yourself, you've been endoctrined, non-stop fapping for the last 7 years maybe, and now you just went 2 weeks without fapping. That's like crazy progress, right? Imagine your first time trying to quit and you're actually going to 2 weeks, even 1 week. Imagine yourself, you were fapping every day at least once for 7 years straight, and now you went a full week without touching it. Like, that's crazy progress. If you ask me, I'm really proud of that person. Yes, okay, you're not free. Yes, you didn't achieve your goal of doing the first month, but it's still really good progress. And now you can only see that kind of person going onward from that, right? The first week, now the next time he might do 2 weeks, now next time he might do the full months that he said to himself, and now after these full months he can continue. Yes, that's not everyone, but that's because they don't have the right support, right? They don't have me. If you had me by your side, you could see how this could really transform your recovery. But people are scared, and that's okay. That's normal, right? And my job here is to actually convince you that it's worth actually taking the risk and finally getting free from this porn addiction. And you can see that not everyone is taking the risk, and what happens, not everyone is free from this porn addiction. So you might as well just take the risk and be free for a lifetime, right? As I tell in almost every video, seeking support. Support is really important. It's not obligated to be me. Yes, I'm talking a lot and doing things, and I'm funny and things, and I'm a professional also, but just a family member that you have big trust in, or a big friend of yours that you have, these can also help you. They don't have the knowledge that I have, but they can offer you support, like moral support and emotional support in your recovery. And sometimes, because they know you for a long time, they can give you like personalized advice. Yes, they're not professional, but it's still advice, right? And they can help you in your journey. Maybe that your friend every day will take you to an activity that you can do together. Maybe you're going to watch cinema, and because of him, because of his support, every week you go watch a cinema 2 times a week. Yes, like, okay, it costs money and everything, I don't know, but it permits you to actually change the things that you're thinking about. You won't have urges, or you have less chance of having urges if when you were bored and having nothing to do, you have this one friend that takes you to the cinema to go do something. So you're not bored and you don't have the time to have these urges, right? And it can give you emotional support also. If you feel like, oh, right now I'm in a bad mood and I feel like I have this urge to fap, if you start talking about it with your friend, he might convince you that this is not the right time to do it. And there is no right time to do it, in fact. But he might convince you to not do it today, and that keeps you on the track. And when you have a setback, you just fapped, you relapsed, and you feel miserable, you feel like you can't achieve things. When you talk about it with your friend, he can kind of put you in a good mood, right? He will convince you that no, you're great, it's just a setback and you're still on this journey, don't give up. Continue on this journey and you'll achieve greatness. You'll achieve this end, the end of the tunnel. So you can see how it can really reinforce your commitment and provide you the good support to actually keep you on track of your porn addiction recovery and make you stay committed to this journey. And that's not even just them, right? I meant it's not just me. Friends and family can also do this. I'm just kind of better suited for this. That's why I'm actually offering help. But they can help too. And that's a free way. The only thing that you need is a good connection with them, right? Because you don't want to talk about this problem that you have with anyone, right? Don't want to talk about it with a friend, and that friend after goes outside and starts talking with everybody about that, right? Because you kind of have your reputation to keep also. So you have to find someone of trust for sure. But if you have this person, it could be a really great help. And support is always good in recovery, especially in recovery. The final point that I want to mention is to really focus on what you have achieved. And that's different from what I mentioned before. What I mentioned before was tracking progress and celebrating small wins, but focusing on achievements is really focusing on, look, right now I did the 2 weeks that I was talking before. Imagine yourself, you did the 2 weeks, focused on that achievement. It's great, right? And if you have a relapse after 2 weeks, that's okay. You did 2 weeks, like you improved yourself. Just focus on improving, focus on the achievements. You did the 2 weeks, okay, next time, after live, right now I relapsed, okay, things happen, but focus on the next time. The next time I'll do 2 weeks and 1 day. Just think about it. Yes, your goal is to achieve 1 month, but just think the minimum that you can achieve right now is 2 weeks and 1 day. Just to be 1% better than the last time. Now you do the 2 weeks and 1 day, and you relapse. So you didn't really learn from your last relapse, but that's still okay. You did 1 day more than the previous. Now, next goal, 2 weeks and 2 days, minimum. That's the minimum. You tried, you're still trying to accomplish that full month, but the minimum, you can't go under, right? It's your new standards. Your new standards are there. It's 2 weeks and 2 days. If you go under, you're a bitch, right? You say that to yourself. You write it on a piece of paper, everything. You relapsed, after 15 days, now you have to do 16. If you don't do 16, you're a bitch. And just telling you this, when you have the urges, you will start counting the days and telling yourself like, oh, it's 14 and I have to do minimum 16. Nah, I can't fap on the 14th day. I have to wait at least for the 16th. And just remembering that you said to yourself, I will do 16 minimum, will make you do the 16 minimum. But this, you can't do this with like bigger periods. This only works with like smaller periods, right? You can't just start for the first time trying to finally quit this porn addiction and tell yourself, if I fap in the next 3 months, I'm a bitch. That won't work. That's too big of a range. You were fapping every day for the last 7 years, and now you're trying to go full 3 months without fapping the first time that you try, without even any strategies, any support, any nothing. You can try, but I'm telling you in advance, the only thing that will happen is that you will relapse before these 3 months, and you will feel miserable, you will feel like you can't quit, and this only brings negative emotions in your life. So either seek support, someone that really knows what he's talking about, or put yourself lower like goals before putting yourself bigger goals, right? You need lower and bigger goals in order for you to actually achieve different type of goal and progress in your journey. If you only put one big goal, that's like too far, and you can't really imagine yourself. Like right now, you were addicted. You can't imagine yourself going a full year without fapping. You were addicted, like yesterday you fapped, the day right before you fapped also, and everything. You can't imagine yourself from today on to not fap for the next year. You can't imagine yourself doing that. And why? That's because it's too wide of a range. You were fapping every day for the last 7 years, and now you expect yourself to not fap for the next 7 years. That's like impossible to think about. But once you're free, like for myself right now, I am free. I can easily imagine myself the next 10 years without fapping once, because I am free. I actually visualize this. I can visualize it easily, myself not fapping for the next 10 years, because I'm free, and it's already close to a year now that I didn't fap, and I don't have any plan of fapping. I don't have urges to fap, because I have this control of myself now. This control that I didn't have was when I was fapping. When I was fapping every day, I felt like I needed it to continue. Now I'm free. It's been months and months, and I don't even feel urges. If my dick is hard, I don't think about the solution to my dick hard, and I get a lot, right? The solution to that is not to fap. It's just to let it pass, right? Or find me a girl that will actually satisfy this. And I have a lot of libido, a high libido, a high testosterone also, and that the fact that I stopped fapping really helped with that. It increased it to a point where I get my dick super hyper hard, but still to that point, my solution is not to go and fap. It's not to go and watch porn. I just continue the day, and the energy that I have towards that just goes into my brain and makes me think that right now I have to find myself a girl to fuck. I have to find myself a girl to build a family with. And the point of my dick getting hard is just a reminder for my brain that I have to search for a girl. That's the way that I implemented it in my day-to-day life. It's not a moment for me to go and fap, right? That's not the solution. And I don't even see porn as a solution to nothing anymore. That's like a big mind difference that I have. Most people, what happens is that they think fapping to porn resolve one of their problems. Maybe when you're bored, you go and fap. When you're stressed, you go and fap. When you have you have anxiety because you have a presentation to do, you go and fap right before, so you're calm. You have to go and sleep, you're having problems to sleep, you go and fap so that the crash makes you able to sleep. When you wake up in the morning, you go and fap because this brings you happiness, and you feel like without it, you don't have happiness. This, for all of the people, you think that it resolves a problem, but it doesn't resolve any problem. It only creates a problem. And you think that it resolved it, but it didn't resolve it. For example, let's take any example. I finished with that, right? Any example, I'll take the stress. I don't know, the first one that came to my mind. Let's say you're feeling stressed right now, right? You have this big stress, you have a big thing to do, and You receive so much stress from your work, you just went back to your house. You will go and fap because you think that fapping to porn will resolve that stress, right? Because what happened right before after you came? You feel this big down, you feel so relaxed. So you're in a state where you don't even feel like you're stressed. So you think, oh, because of that state, I'm no longer feeling stressed. So that's the solution to my problem. But I'll tell you two things that are really against that, right? First thing, the 2 hours after you fapped, the energy that you lost that made you super calm and everything, this is no longer true, right? You recovered and now you're not feeling super energized, but you're still there, right? You're no longer in this kind of mood where you just fapped and you just came. You return to your everyday life, and now the stress that you had from your job come back. What happened? People go and fap again. Some people do that. I heard things like that. Or some people just go with it and don't think that, hey, my stress came back even though I just fapped. What happened? Does that mean that fapping doesn't resolve my stress? They don't make this kind of realization because porn clouds your judgment and prevents you from actually thinking clearly. It brings you so much brain fog that you can actually realize this pattern that I just told you. That you think that porn actually resolve your stress and that the stress that you get 1 to 2 hours after you came is just new stress. But it's not just new stress, it's the same stress that you already had. And another thing, in the problem that it creates that I was talking about, if you go 5 days without fapping, that's the better point, right? You already know what I'm going to tell you at this point. You're trying to quit your porn addiction. So you have to go days and days without fapping, weeks without fapping. The stress that you get, that later on transform to your urges, that stress that's coming from porn. It's coming from the fact that you can fap. So you think that you need fapping in order to resolve the stress, and when you don't fap for a long period of time, this brings extra stress that you don't have usually, and you feel now that you really, really need this porn addiction, this porn session to actually resolve that stress. Whereas I don't have any stress coming from the fact that I don't fap, right? It's been months and months. As I said, I'm really, really close to a year. I'm not counting days because anyway, it's probably too much, but I'm really close to a year, I know it. And because I know the exact month that I started in, I just don't know the day, and I'm not counting the days, but I know that it's really close to a year, and soon it will be a year. I don't feel any stress coming from the fact that I didn't fap for like more than 9 months, right? Maybe even more than 11 months. Anyway, I don't feel any stress from that. I don't feel right now tensed, and I feel like I need to fap, right? When I have an urge, it's not an urge to go and watch porn, to go and fap, right? I don't have these anymore because porn isn't part of my life anymore. It kind of got removed from my panel of options to choose from, right? And that's something you can only accomplish when you're finally free for a lifetime from porn addiction. That's what I'm offering you, and that's what I want for everyone. But not everyone want it as much as me for them. Like, for myself, I really, really want you free from this porn addiction. I see all of what it brings me, all the benefits, all the energy, the concentration, the self-confidence. I see it all, and I know that if I can put at least one another person on that same benefits thing and finally get them free from this porn addiction, I will be proud of myself, right? It will be a great accomplishment, and I would have changed the life of someone. But I actually want every guy at least to get free from this porn addiction, not just one. I have to start with one. Well, I actually already made some, but I mean, I want to actually put one more than what I already have. And even after that one person, I will always want more, right? I'm kind of greedy on that. I want to put more and more people free from this porn addiction. But in order for me to accomplish that, I have to keep on making videos and getting people interested and getting people educated into that topic, because a lot of people are like me when I started this porn addiction. They don't know that porn is really that bad. All of what they heard about was online, random people writing on internet posts saying either, oh, porn really is harmful, or they listen to the doctors, and the doctors, what they tell is, hey, porn is not harmful, it's okay to fap once every day. I guarantee you that it's really not good. That the fact that porn is the solution, the thing that is recommended, is so fucked up. And like I can't even imagine why people are recommending it. If you think about this, doctors are telling you that it's good for you, that fapping every day is good, that watching porn is okay if it's not like too much, I don't know, but when you're watching porn, you get addicted and it becomes too much at a point. So they know that, right? They're not like imbeciles, they're doctors, right? They went to the school and everything. So they know about psychology and things like that. And they're still recommending it. Now I find that so fucked up. Like, people don't even think about others. And to go back to what I was saying, I want you to get free, but I can't make you free at your place, right? You have to first take the decision, and I can't really help you with that decision. I can only continue making my videos and talking more and more about more and more info so that everyone gets free, but you have to make this judgment by your own. So I'll let you by saying that if you are interested towards that, there's always the first link down in the description where I will directly help you, because I want you to get free. And remember this war that we have against the porn companies. It's really important for me, and I'm actively trying to demolish these porn companies. So help me in this journey. On that, take care of yourself.